Today, we will talk about executive presence, some of its myths, and the reality. As an executive coach who has worked with leaders across various industries, I have seen firsthand how executive presence is often misunderstood. Many myths surround this concept, but I'm here to clear the fog and help you understand what it really takes to cultivate executive presence. It's not reserved for a select few, nor is it some mysterious innate quality. Let's debunk some of the common misconceptions with clarity and some practical insights. Myth number 1: executive presence is only for senior executives. The reality is that executive presence isn't about your title. It's about how you carry yourself. Whether you are an entry-level employee or a senior leader, executive presence is about how you inspire confidence, communicate clearly, and build trust with others. For example, I once coached a young project manager named Anika, who, despite not being in a leadership role, consistently impressed senior executives with her poise and ability to manage difficult conversations. Her executive presence helped her secure a promotion, proving that you don't need the title of executive to embody leadership qualities. However, executive presence becomes extremely critical at the senior leadership role. Myth number 2: you have to be extroverted to have executive presence. The reality is, executive presence is not about being the loudest voice in the room or having an outgoing personality. It's about confidence and clarity, which can be achieved by both introverts and extroverts. Introverts can often bring a calm demeanor, deep listening skills, and thoughtful responses, which are essential aspects of executive presence. Think about Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. He is known for his introverted nature, yet his quiet confidence and empathetic leadership style have transformed the company. This shows that you don't need to be extroverted to command respect and lead effectively. Myth number 3: executive presence means you have to be perfect. The reality is, perfection is not a prerequisite for executive presence. In fact, it's your ability to navigate challenges, bounce back from setbacks, and show resilience that truly matters. It's about owning your mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward with grace and confidence. One of my clients, Raj, faced a critical moment during a board presentation when a major tech glitch disrupted his flow. Instead of panicking, he calmly acknowledged the issue, apologized, and continued with poise. The board admired his composure more than the content itself, which reinforced the idea that how you handle imperfections often leaves the strongest impressions. Myth number 4: executive presence is just about appearance. The reality is, while your appearance can support your presence, it's far from the whole story. True executive presence is built on your behavior, communication, and the ability to connect with others. Looking polished helps, but your impact will come from what you say and how you say it. And of course, how well you listen. Consider an instance where 2 candidates were interviewing for a leadership role. Both were dressed impeccably, but only one was offered the job. Why? The successful candidate didn't just look the part, he also listened intently, asked insightful questions, and communicated clearly. Their executive presence wasn't defined by their outfit, but by their ability to connect authentically. Myth number 5: people are born with executive presence. The reality is, No one is born with executive presence. It's a skill that can be developed. Sure, some may have natural charisma, but the true essence of executive presence comes from self-awareness, practiced communication, and emotional intelligence. It's about being intentional in how you present yourself, how you engage with others, and how you manage your own emotions. A client of mine, a technical expert named Meera, initially struggled with presenting her ideas to senior leaders. Through coaching, she learned to slow down, communicate with more clarity, and manage her nerves. Over time, she transformed from a quiet, anxious speaker into someone who could command a room with confidence, proving that executive presence is a learned skill and not inherent. Myth number 6. You have to be very serious to have an executive presence. Well, the reality is that executive presence is not about being stiff or overly serious all the time. It's about being authentic, and that means allowing your personality to shine through in a professional context. Leaders who balance professionalism with warmth and empathy are often more relatable and trusted. Think about leaders like Richard Branson or Oprah Winfrey. Both use humor, warmth, and a down-to-earth style to connect with others, yet they maintain authority and respect. They show that being approachable doesn't diminish your executive presence, it strengthens it. Myth number 7. You have to imitate others to have executive presence. The reality is that mimicking someone else's leadership style can actually hurt your own authenticity, which is a key element of executive presence. It's important to discover and leverage your own unique strengths rather than trying to fit into someone else's mold. I worked with a leader named James who admired his boss's authoritative style and tried to replicate it, but in doing so, he lost his own voice and struggled to connect with his team. Once we worked on helping him find his own style of leadership, he became more effective and influential by being himself, very calm, strategic, and thoughtful. Executive presence is about much more than titles, much more than appearance, and much more than personality types. It's about how you handle yourself in the face of challenges, how you connect with others, and how authentic you are in your communication and demeanor. It's a skill that anyone can cultivate with practice, feedback, and a focus on self-awareness. By debunking these myths, we can all work towards developing a presence that inspires trust, respect, and influence no matter where we are in our careers.